What's good, y'all? It's boy Havoc. Final round. We had Charlo versus Costano to go down. It was a great fight. It was a banger. Charlo did his thing. I'm very impressed by Charlo, man. You know, it's nothing against him, but I wanted to see him string it together. I wanted to see him show that he can box for 12 rounds, or at least box for a majority of the fight. And I wasn't mad at that knockout. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Havoc. Final round. We had Charlo versus Costano to go down this past weekend. It was a great fight. It was a banger. Charlo did his thing, and I have to give credit where credit is due. I couldn't put my money on Charlo boxing until I actually saw him execute. It was nothing against him. I just wanted to see him actually do it. And he fought the perfect fight, man. He fought the perfect fight. And I can't complain on the game plan, the strategy. He did a relatively good job of staying off the ropes and in the corner and getting back to the center of the ring. And I think he was able to frustrate Costano to a certain extent and eventually just get him out of there. Charlo's power is just ridiculous, the way it carries throughout the fight. I mean, the dude has the eraser. Not that he needed to erase anything because he was up on the scorecards and he was clearly winning the fight. I felt compared to the first fight, he was clearly the ring general and dictating the pace. And as far as Costano, Costano didn't look the same, man. He didn't look as sharp as he did for the first fight. One of the things I was concerned about when you get a pressure fighter who goes up against a guy like Charlo, especially who has some power behind his punches and who can box as well, you know, it's hard, man. It takes a lot physically and mentally and emotionally, you might as well throw that in there, to go in that ring and break an opponent down, especially like Charlo, who's just as game. You know, he can box. He can punch real hard, you know, and he's got a nasty attitude. You know, the more you hit him, the more he gets pissed off. Those are one of the worst opponents you can go against, the ones that get even angrier when you hit them. And that's one thing I was concerned about for Costano. You know, it takes a lot, man. It takes a lot to go into that fight and be able, you know, you're going to go into a war. You know, you're not going to be able to break this guy down easy. And, you know, it may be just a little too much to put yourself through that grueling type of effort that he put in the first fight, because I could see he just did not look as sharp. He didn't control distance as well. The head movement wasn't there. Not so much the head movement, but the way he would change his guard in the first fight and kind of use feints to incorporate into his rhythm wasn't there. He didn't look as patient. He didn't come out and establish, he didn't come out the first round and cut the ring off and put the pressure like he did the first fight. His combinations didn't look as good. Didn't go to the body enough. He did land a nice, right cross frequently, or overhand right that kept on landing. That's something Charlo's really going to have to fix in his game moving forward. But, spectacular performance by Charlo. He boxed the perfect fight, the perfect game plan. And it's very impressive. I'm always impressed with fighters who, come back and improve. I don't care about having this perfect record or, protecting your own. I like seeing fighters who can come back from a draw or a loss or a tough fight where controversially they lose and they come back and improve. And that's very impressive on Charlo's part. I don't know if he's on my pound for pound right now, but I'm not mad at people that do have Charlo on their pound for pound. So, very impressed by Charlo. Boxed very well. That jab is very nice. I still think there's some guys that can give him some problems who can box very well. But he did his thing against Costano. He did his thing for sure. And you could just see when Costano got put down for the first time in the fight. He tried his best. You could tell he tried his best, but it was just too much. It was too much. And the way he just collapsed the way he did, you knew that he didn't have anything left. But it's scary. Charlo's power is scary. The way he can carry it through the later rounds, that's definitely tough to deal with. But it's nice for him to have the ability to box and show that he can box, but also have that power that can help bail him out. And if you mix the two together, you know, that's a real problem, which we have seen. That's a real problem for guys, especially even if you might get the upper hand on him and say like a first matchup, the second matchup, he's going to be able to make adjustments. He did that with Harrison, and now he did that with Costano. So props to Charlo. Did really good. I had Costano. I thought he was going to find a way to get it done on the scorecards. I thought the volume would be good, and I thought he would be able to, you know, avoid getting knocked down. But he just looked. He just didn't look the same the first fight. He didn't look the same. I don't. It's just that was one of the things I was worried about picking Costano. Like I said, man, it takes a lot, especially as a pressure fighter, to go into a second matchup with a guy like Charlo, who's ready to go to war, who's got power, and show that he can box in that fight. You know, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to get yourself there. It's really difficult. And Charlo's probably obviously the more athletically gifted boxer. You know, that's a lot you gotta get up for. And but you know, I did think that Costano would find a way to get it done. He did it. So congrats to Charlo. Props to him. I'm looking forward to some of the matchups he has. Maybe a fight with Bud. That'd be pretty interesting. Or maybe Spence. Even though that's kind of weird because they're all stablemates. But you know, I just hope to see all these great fights. I hope they all mix it up. You know, that's what boxing should be about. But this is your boy Havoc, final round. Tell me what you thought about the fight. Comment down below, like, subscribe if you're new to the family. Cheers. And I'll be coming out with some more videos soon. Still lots of great fights up and coming this year. And man, it would be a cherry on top if we can get our boys Spence and Bud to throw down. But get at me, stay safe, y'all.